Good to have Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos Parshas Vayeira. An idea we learned this week, amazing concept, where in general the idea of Vayeira Elav Avaya is a continuation of the story. That Avraham Avinu is asked by Hashem to circumcise himself at the age of 99 years old. He's, so to say, upgraded his name from Avram to Avraham. And after the circumcision, in his process of healing, starts this week's parsha, Vayeira Elav Avaya. God reveals himself to Avram. And Vayeira is also from the word to see. It's visual. Avram Avinu was upgraded during the process, or through the process of circumcision, that he reached not only a level of where he was able to elevate, like the Rebbe says, all the 243 senses that are in his control, he was able to elevate to a complete, to all the 248 senses that he had total control, even those parts of him that are usually not under control of a person, like if to what you see and what you hear, you could walk away from a conversation, but if you're standing in a vicinity and you have the power of hearing or vision, you're going to see or hear. And Avraham Avinu was in total control. And because of that, it says, Vayeira Elav Avaya, he was elevated to the level of visual. And with visual comes, we know, certainty. That's why, like we mentioned many times, Ein Eid Nasa Dayan, a witness cannot become a judge because you're certain of what you saw. So Avraham Avinu reaches the level of such certainty. And this leads us to the next idea, that the question that we all ask, the Gemara in Shabbos says, that Gedoyla Hachnasis Orchim Mikabals Pnei Hashchina. It's greater to host guests, to deal and to host and to accompany and to do all the things you have to do to be accommodating to your guest, than to sit with Hashem, to be makabel, to receive the presence of the Lord. Here Avram is sitting with Hashem. Hashem is coming to heal him. Hashem is coming to visit the sick. We learn from Hashem visiting Avram that we have to emulate Hashem's midos to visit the sick. And here Avram Avinu comes and he says to Hashem, oh, 1 second, there's guests, I have to go. And from this we learn that hosting guests is more important than sitting with Hashem. And in the Maimer we learned this week, the Rebbe asked the question, what does that mean? And to understand what it means that to leave the presence of Hashem, the revelations of godliness, and to go and host your guest, is you have to understand what revelation Avram had. And like the Rebbe says in the Maimer, that Avram Avinu was a level of sick, also means spiritually when a person is sick, like Shlomo Melech says, Ki choila sahava ani, I'm sick with love for Hashem. I should love Hashem so much. And I'm sick with love for Hashem, and therefore I need Hashem's support. I need Hashem to help me, to take me out, to heal me from my illness of love for Hashem. And how could you heal someone who's sick of love for Hashem? You have to give them revelation. And this is not just talking about a person who has very little revelation and is sick because there's so little in his life of godliness. We're talking about Avraham Avinu, who's reached, like we said, 99 years old. He's reached the highest level of completion, the 49 gates of understanding. We know that the Rebbe talks to this in the last mimer, that choila, sick, the Hebrew word for choila is the number value of 49. Even if a person has 49 levels of understanding, you're still considered sick because you don't have the 50th gate. You don't have the level that's beyond your reach. And Avraham Avinu reached the max of his own potential, and he's sick with love. He needs that extra. He needs the completion mamish. And it comes Hashem, and he's healing him. What's he healing? He's healing of his illness. His illness is he wants to be totally connected to Hashem. He wants to be totally connected. Like the Alter Rebbe says, Mili b'shamayim v'im chalei chafatzti. I don't want anything. I don't want your revelations. I don't need your Garden of Eden. I don't need any kind. Don't show me anything that's not you. I just want you, a person who's mamish focused, so through and through, with focus and service of Hashem, that what do you want is just Hashem. And here Avraham Avinu is getting that. And like the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, that when a nefesh alikis, when a godly soul does a mitzvah, it has simcha, it has joy, because now it's able to connect to Hashem. So he's sitting there, he's connecting with Hashem, so why does he walk away from that? How is it that when he gets the highest gift that he's able to receive from Hashem, the 50th gate, healing from this illness of love for Hashem, he sees 3 people and he says, sorry, gotta go. And from this we learn an amazing thing, that as great as the revelations of godliness is, even the 50th gate, even where the nefesh alikis, the godly soul, says, I'm home now. That like the soul comes back home to its father's place, it's complete. But that's not the mitzvah. The mitzvah is the actual doing of the mitzvah. It's not the result, the reward of the mitzvah that the soul gets. It's the actual action of going out, hosting someone, engaging in someone, dealing with someone, that no matter how great the revelation of godliness is, it doesn't come to doing actual mitzvah. And that certainty Avraham had was the Vayeira love, when he had the revelation of godliness, that he was able to be certain, he knew exactly what to do. There was no question that when it comes an opportunity to do a mitzvah, he walks away from the great revelations, the healing that he was going to get, to be able to do another mitzvah. And that kind of certainty we have to wish in ourselves. We know that there's a lot of times you have doubt, we don't know what the right path is, what the right thing to do is. We're faced with a lot of opportunities, we're not sure, even in a good way. Hashem should bless us with the understanding and the Vayera, to see the clarity, to know what we have to do and do it, and through our ma'asim actions we should bring Mashiach Tzidkenu B'karav Mamash Shabbos.